Hello my sweet owlets, and welcome back to the Owl's Nest, where we are going to pretend that we are having a fun sleepover and working on some art projects together. So, what was I going to say? Before I get into the next topic that I want to talk about, I actually want to go over some of the comments that you guys left on my last video. And I might do this for all of my videos from now on, like, you know, all the Owl's Nest videos, but we'll see if you guys even like this. But the first comment I want to go over was actually the most upvoted comment, which was a quote that I said, actually. He liked to go on Reddit and watch political videos. That sounds like a nightmare. It kind of was, but not really. Like, we're both believed in the same political ideas and stuff. I just don't use Reddit at all, and I don't know anything about Reddit, so I know there's some kind of stigma against it. I'm not gonna comment just because I don't know anything of it. Hey, buddy, why are you biting? I got a lot of comments saying that they liked this series because it felt like they were sitting down and drawing with a friend, which is exactly what the idea was. I have never had a friend, unfortunately. Okay, wait, why did I stop it there? Okay, unfortunately, I have never had a friend that I could sit down with and draw or work on some kind of art project with. That was a whole sentence. And it sucked. I've tried it before and it just didn't work out. And so this is what this series is supposed to be. Buddy! Yeah, so I just want this series to be that. If you want, you know, if you need a friend to draw with, this is what this is. If you just want somebody to listen to as background noise while you're cleaning your room, walking, working on homework, or any kind of project, this is what I want this to be for you. So yeah, thank you to all the people who told me that. I'm glad it's like, I'm glad I'm getting the results that I wanted, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah. A few people were upset that I didn't actually talk about how I caught him cheating. Some people were really mad. I titled my last Owl's Nest "The Signs That He Was Cheating," I think. Because that was all I was going to talk about. And don't get me wrong, I will talk about when I caught him, but I was hoping to leave that for the anniversary of when I caught him. So if you guys remember when I told you I caught him cheating, that is when I'm going to post that video. It's coming up soon and within the next month, so don't worry. But yeah, sorry that I disappointed you. But yeah, I was just supposed to focus on the signs that he was cheating, not when I actually caught him. And then I did get a comment on how this wasn't that great of a series because I was not drawing a lot and I was moving my arms around too much. They said it in a not as nice way, but I do want to mention, I don't know if I said this in my last video, but I am not good at drawing and talking at the same time. I'm so bad at it. So don't expect great artwork from me in the series. I'm going to try to like do the sketch first and then maybe line art it and color it during this series, you know, to get the hard part out of the way. I forgot to do that, so I'm just gonna fumble around on my tablet today. But if you do want to see actual completed artworks, I have a speed paint playlist if that's what you want. But this is not the series to go to if you want to see amazing art. This is a series that you go to for me to ramble. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, so anyways, let's go on to the actual topic. I just remembered that I'm working on a project right now, so I'm gonna be working on this instead because that sounds a lot more fun. So I'm gonna be talking about YouTube. So YouTube was created on February 14th, 2005. So if you are like younger than 16, if you're younger than 15, I guess, that means you've had YouTube your entire life, but I definitely didn't. How old was I? I was like 10 years old or something when YouTube was created. So, you know, I was baby, but not that baby. And YouTube, so the thing is, I didn't start using YouTube until later than that, like a couple years after that. But YouTube in the beginning was not at all what it is today. It was mostly just for like, I mean, first off, iPhones did not exist as far as I can remember. I don't think iPhones existed. It was hard to have any really like, it's like so easy. You just pull out your phone and take pictures or videos of literally anything you want, whenever you want. But back then you could not. Like phone quality, like not all phones had cameras, and the ones that did, the quality sucked big time. Like not good quality. You don't want to, I mean, like at the time it was good quality, right? But if you guys could see the quality of the pictures back then, not so great. So the quality of the videos back then were obviously not the best. Where is my reference sheet? There it is. Is that what he looks like? Okay. So yeah, it was, you know, making videos was like, making digital videos, I guess, wasn't as accessible as it is today. It was mostly like on like camcorders, I guess. Not everyone had a digital camera at this time, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, most of the videos were just kind of like, there were no YouTubers. YouTubers didn't really exist. You know, like no like daily uploads, no like scheduled uploads really. It was like people uploading kind of whatever they had at, you know, like, you know, things that they wanted to remember, like vacation clips or stuff like that, you know. The first video uploaded was by one of the co-creators of YouTube, and what was it called? Like Me at the Zoo or something like that. I forgot the title of that first video. I've actually never watched the first video uploaded to YouTube. I should probably watch that because I know that's a part of history. God, I can't even imagine how many views that video has right now. But yeah, it was not what it was today, right? YouTubers, like, you could not make any money on YouTube at this time. I don't think the partnership thing showed up until 2007, and it still was not at all the same partnership that exists nowadays. But yeah, so that was YouTube in 2005. It picked up pretty fast, I'm pretty sure. Like, didn't Google buy it like the next year, like October 2006? November 2, it was like sometime in the end of 2006 is when Google bought it. It became pretty big pretty fast, so good on the YouTube people, the original creators. But yeah, anyways, so I think in 2007, that is when like the partnership showed up. That is when YouTubers really started showing up in like 2006, 2007, and it was like the original people, like the original YouTubers. So like Fred obviously was a huge one. He might have been the first YouTuber that, I don't know why I was gonna put that in quotes. He was like the first YouTuber that I remember, honestly. And if you watch like Fred's content, like if you go back to his first videos back then, the humor is so different, man. Like it was, whew, man. At the time, it was hilarious. People loved it. Good for him. I mean, he made it, right? Smosh was an original YouTuber. Who else? A lot of the like original YouTubers were mostly kind of around like 2008, 2009. So not even at this time of, oh no, I'm not even using a vector layer. That's a bummer. Should I could have sworn I was. Why is his hair so big? Alright. Could have sworn I was using a vector layer. What happened? Sorry, I have to restart because I'm not using a vector layer. You guys don't know how important vector layers are, okay? I made a video on how much I love vector layers, and it wasn't even a good video because it was literally the first time I used vector layers. So anyways, oh, and before I even go on to the YouTubers, most of the first like really big YouTube videos were like viral videos, which is like, that doesn't sound that cool now, right? But viral videos were so different back then. Like, first off, like I said, not everybody could upload content, like, or upload videos. So it was like, viral videos back then lasted so much longer. Like, I feel like nowadays viral videos and memes and stuff like last up to like a week, and then the next week there's like a whole different meme going around. Whereas back then, viral videos and memes lasted like forever, like months, or, you know, like maybe even years. It's just like such a different internet world back then. And so yeah, this was like the age of viral videos. Like, the first one I think of when I think of like original viral video was the sneezing baby panda, I think. when was that uploaded? Like 2006, I think that was uploaded in 2006. So YouTube was already established a bit. Charlie Bit My Finger was a huge one. I remember that one. I saw all these videos, so I think these were uploaded around like 2006 and 7, I think. Evolution of Dance was a huge one, if you guys remember that. Are these like jogging any memories for any of you guys? Like, I know most of my viewers are, or most of my subscribers are younger, is a younger audience. So you guys have maybe not seen these, but if you have, that's cool. But yeah, these were like huge at the time. And I remember I didn't see any of these videos until like 2009, I think. 2008 and 2009 is when I was introduced to YouTube personally. It was actually my cousin who showed me YouTube. Like, I remember being at my uncle's house, and it wasn't even like her dad's, it was like a different uncle. I remember being at his house, and she was showing me like, oh my gosh, you have to watch all of these videos. And she showed me like, she showed me Fred, she showed me Charlie Bit My Finger, the panda, and then there's this other video. I don't remember the exact title of it, but it was like this kid telling his mom that his brother was bleeding, but he kept mispronouncing blood. He kept saying like blood or something like that. I don't know. Like, does anybody remember that video? That was like in 2007 or something. So yeah, those are all the first videos that I've ever watched on YouTube. And like I said, she introduced me to Fred, and so he was like the first YouTuber that I've ever watched, I guess. I don't know, I think I was subscribed to him at some point, but I don't remember when I created my first account. I wish I could remember, but I don't. And but yeah, so yeah, like I said, the partnership program 2007, but it wasn't at all the same. Like, I think Google reached out to like a select few YouTubers, or a select few people to like start making money off of it. So they did. And then this is when I started getting really into YouTube. So I remember when I first started using YouTube, I was like in middle school, and I mostly watched, like, I was in my Sonic phase, okay? No judgment. We all went through our phases. But yeah, so I remember first using YouTube for watching, like, I would listen to the music from the Sonic games. I remember there was this one person who would upload like Sonic fan animations. What was her name? Like Mobius Angel or something like that. I actually looked up one of their videos last night because I wanted to remember what it was. So if you look up Silver Bakes Cookies, I think it should be the first. It should be the first option. But yeah, that was like, those were the types of videos that I watched. And by the way, if you do go and watch the videos, please don't leave any negative comments. They're a sweet person, I'm sure. I don't know them or anything, but you know, it was a different time, you know? And it was impressive for the time. Like, you know, just like leave them alone. But anyways, yeah, so those were the types of videos that I would watch back then. And I think in like 2009, that's when like a lot of the first YouTubers, that's when I first started subscribing to like actual YouTubers. So that was like when Ray William Johnson was a huge person back then. I was subscribed to him with his like Equals 3 show. I'm sure that name like drew some memories. Tobuscus. So Tobuscus, I was a huge fan of him. This was obviously way before all of that information about him came out. Obviously I didn't know any of that stuff when I was a supporter, but he was like the, I think he was like the second YouTuber I was ever like really into. I think the first one was actually Smosh. So Smosh was like, I was obsessed with Smosh, but I cannot for the life of me recall any of their videos. Boxman. Okay, never mind. I remember Boxman, so I can recall one video. But other than that, I don't remember like why I was so into them. Remember, this is like 2009 Smosh. You know, this was like way back then. Smosh is like a whole company now, but back then it was just Ian and Anthony. It was so different. And so yeah, Smosh was like the first people I was obsessed with. I think when they had their PO box, I like sent them a picture of them, like a drawing of them, not a picture. Like I didn't like screenshot them and then send it to them. Yeah, I think, did I do that? Did I ever send that to them? Maybe not, maybe I didn't. But Tobuscus, I know I sent him something, and I could have sworn on my life that I saw it in the background of one of his videos. It was like a binder, and I drew all these things for him, and he never like opened it in one of his videos, and then he said that he like lost a bunch of stuff or something. And I remember being really sad because I like wanted to see his reaction. I ended up meeting him at VidCon at 1 year, and that was, I gave him like another copy of that binder. No, I didn't send it to him. It was that binder, and he was gonna do a video of like the stuff that he got at VidCon, and the binder was like in the background, but he never actually like looked at it in the video. So that was what it was. But yeah, I was obsessed with Tobuscus. I had the biggest crush on him. Like I said, this was before everything came out, okay, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I would watch his gameplay. And then, who else? At the time, I watched a lot of, I think I watched multiple gamers, I guess. I can't recall their names, but this was like, I remember that game got really big. What was that game? Like Happy Wheels? Happy Wheels was really big at this time as well. Never played. Oh wait, I did play. Did I play it? I don't know if I ever played it. And what else? I watched a lot of like vloggers. So like the Daily Grace was the show, and then she moved on to her own channel. So Grace Helbig, I used to watch her. Hannah Hart, Mamrie Hart. What was her show called? Something about drinks, like pour yourself a drink or make a drink. What was her show called? I don't know. Hannah Hart, I had the biggest crush on her back then, but it's so funny because I actually met Hannah Hart at VidCon, but I hadn't started watching her yet, so I didn't know who she was. But my friend who I was at VidCon with knew her, so she took a picture with her and was like so excited. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I started watching her, and I was like, oh, she's like, I love her. Like, I have a big crush on her. And then I could have had a picture with her. I could have met her. And like, not that it matters. Like, I was like a kid, right? But like, still, that was really funny. What else? Who else? Tyler Oakley was somebody I used to watch back then. This was like around the time that like British YouTubers got really big. But I actually never watched any British YouTubers, I don't think. I might have been subscribed to Zoella at a point, but I never actually watched her. I think I was just subscribed because everybody else was, but I'm not really sure, honestly. Yeah, I just didn't really much care for any of the British YouTubers. No offense to any of them. Like, I'm not saying they're bad people or anything. It's just how it was, I guess. Why can I not get this guy's mouth right? If I wasn't watching, like, vloggers or gamers, I was using YouTube for like watching anime. It was a little bit easier to watch anime on YouTube at the time. Although all the videos were posted into 3 parts, like Oron High School Host Club episode 1 part 1, and then the next one would be like episode 1 part 2. It was like mostly in parts of 3. I'm thinking it's because there was like a limit to how long the videos can be. I'm not actually sure though, but if anybody can tell me why that was the reason, like that's what I'm thinking. I also watched like AMVs, like anime music videos. Is that what it stood for? You know, like music videos made with clips of anime. And it was just like Be My Bad Boy, like that song. That's a song that I was humming. Nobody caught that. But did they catch that? That song, like I did a video and I like used the kazoo to like hum that song for the guy I'm actually drawing right now for Kudo. Yeah, I like hummed that song for him. I don't know. And that was such like a Mimi song. And what other songs were used? Just a lot of like, what was her name? Like Cascada or something? Whatever her name was, I don't remember. But yeah, just a lot of AMVs I used to watch. I used to watch a lot of like anime on crack video. So it'd be like Oran High School Host Club on crack. And it was just like super like hyper silly like edits of, you know, certain shows. They would mostly be fan dubbed over, or like they would use audio from like a different show. Mostly it'd be like South Park audio or something, you know, just like something that doesn't fit, to make like really weird situations. I mean, they still exist, I think, but I don't know if they're as popular now as they were back then. But I used to watch some of those. I used to watch do any of you, or like, did you ever watch Tokyo Mew Mew? So that was an anime back then that I would watch on YouTube. I don't know how many seasons there are, but I think, did I watch all of it? I don't even know. But I would watch it. There's like this YouTuber who would do like a fan dub for that show, and I loved it. It was definitely a parody. It wasn't at all like, you know, they weren't staying true to the actual show really. But I remember loving, it was like Tokyo Mew Mew in a nutshell. Those were popular too. Anime name in a nutshell. Those were so popular. But yeah, I remember watching them a lot, and I think they stopped uploading those eventually, and I unsubscribed, but I should find them. Wow, I really miss that era, like, so much. Oh my god, I really miss that. But yeah, so yeah, anime and some vloggers is what I used to watch back then. Oh, I also used to watch Jenna Marbles. Just wanted to point that out. Back way then, way back then. I think that's the appropriate way of saying that. And then I stopped watching her for like a good number of years. What happened there? And then I started watching her again like recently, and then now she's gone, so that's really sad. But Jenna Marbles was like, played a huge part in like my sense of humor, like her more recent videos. Back then she was definitely more like outrageous, which is like what was popular at the time. But yeah, eventually I grew out of that type of humor, so I stopped watching her, and then she grew up as well, and then I started watching her again with her new stuff when she's like more being herself, you know. I love her videos like within the past like 3-4 years maybe. I don't remember when I started rewatching her. I think like back in 2016 or maybe even 15. But yeah, she taught me a lot. Like, I adopted her sense of humor a lot. Like, she was probably like my biggest influence on my humor. Also, I'm drawing the hand very poorly, I know, but I'm just not gonna attempt to fix it right now. If I like, maybe I'll do it later. But anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, and she just taught me, like, she's so unapologetically herself, especially in her like more recent videos. And so that's how I strive to be nowadays. So that's why I'm doing these kind of videos, because even if they're not super popular, I'm having a great time, even though this is like an uncomfortable setup. We'll see how this turns out, okay? But anyways, so yeah, that was like my very first YouTube experiences back. This like lasted from like 2008 to like 2000, like, I don't know, 12 or something, because 2012 is when I first discovered what I'm wearing. I mean, this wasn't out, right? But Game Grumps. So Game Grumps is a huge part of my life. And this whole video isn't going to be dedicated to Game Grumps, okay? Like, don't worry, I'm going to stop talking about them eventually. But, see, I like video games, but I'm only like a Nintendo video game person. And, you know, gameplays or gamer YouTubers were really big, like 2011 to like now, obviously, but like 2011, 2012 is when the big original gamers came out, and were becoming really popular. Like, oh my god, all the content just shifted into like gaming. And I discovered Game Grumps. I mean, that sounds so weird when I say it like that. Like, I didn't discover them, but I first came across Game Grumps in the end of 2012. I saw them. I my first, what is it? My first introduction to them was from Tumblr, because somebody posted a clip of Aaron's freak out during Sonic 06. The whole, like, if you guys remember, if any of you Game Grump fans are watching, if you remember the whole, like, you gotta draw a line in the sand, dude, or something like that, like I remember. But yeah, so that is the first clip I ever watched of Game Grumps, and I was like, I'm gonna watch these people, and I was hooked ever since. So I've been watching Game Grumps, like, almost every day since that episode. So I think that was, like, I want to say, like, October of 2012, but I'm not actually sure. But yeah, obsessed with Game Grumps. They shaped who I am so much. My sense of humor was very much influenced by them. Just how I am as an artist. They've helped me through my anxiety whenever I'm, like, super sad or super anxious and I just need something to distract me. Game Grumps is, like, the first thing I go to. Because I try, like, I wish, like, I hated when people were like, oh, like, you getting your heart broken into a million pieces is gonna be good for you, because, like, you can grow from, like, art-wise. You're gonna make so much great, like, heartbreak art, which, like, I hate that. I hate people who are, not hate people, sorry. I hate the idea that, you know, like, trauma and, like, depression and just negative things are good for artists, that artists need to suffer to make great art. That is such BS. So yeah, when I was going through my actual, like, heartbreak, my first thought wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna use this for art. It wasn't, oh, if I draw, I'll get my mind off of it, because it doesn't work for me, at least. It doesn't work like that for me. My first thought was, how do I distract myself? Oh, I know, maybe if I watch my favorite people that I find really funny, and they're playing my favorite video games, that will be a great distraction, and it was. So yeah, they helped me through a lot of things. Like, anything negative in my life, that they are the first people I went to. If you have never watched Game Grumps, and you want to try them out, here are my favorite Game Grumps series. So keep in mind that most of these series that I like are, like, older stuff from, like, 2013, 2014. I don't know why all of my favorite series are from back then. Maybe it is because they played, like, an important part of my life, maybe. I don't know, like, back then, like, that series or whatever. But the two series that I go to every time when I need comfort is Wind Waker and Mario Sunshine. But those were back in 2013, so they have grown as people back then for sure. So if there is something about them that you don't like, I would recommend giving their more recent stuff a try, because they're still funny, they're still silly, but, like, they have definitely changed a bit. But yeah, so those two series are my favorite. I also like Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild overall. It's, like, my favorite game of all time almost. And so watching them reacting to my favorite game is great. Ocarina of Time is also good to watch. I do like Game Grumps. I think the thing that brought me to Game Grumps was because, like I said, I like games, but I mostly like Nintendo, and not a lot of gamers play Nintendo or, like, Sega games too much. I think it is kind of coming more, not coming more, but, like, it's more common now, but it was kind of hard to find, like, gamers. It's so weird to say gamers, but, like, gameplay channels that focused on these games. Especially older games, because back then they would play a lot of, like, older games. I mean, they still do sometimes, but, like, you know, NES games, N64 games, stuff like that. Oh yeah, Mario 64 is a great series from them as well. I forgot to put that on my list, wow. So yeah, just pretty much any Zelda game that they've played, I love that series. And all of the Sonic games. You know what? Except the Sonic games that are kind of like, what are they called? I think they have, like, Storybook, right? Is that what it's called? The Sonic games that are, like, like 7 Rings. Yeah, I don't care for that game. But like Sonic Adventure, the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 series I like, because those games were like my whole childhood. I need to make a whole video on my favorite video games, honestly. Sonic Heroes is pretty good, but they haven't finished it. But yeah, Sonic Adventure 2, great series from them. But anyways, if you are a big Sonic fanboy, please do not get offended that Aaron does kind of poop on Sonic a bit in the series, okay? But yeah, so anyways, I know I've been talking about Game Grumps for a long time, but if you will be hearing Game Grumps references throughout my videos, and I'm not always going to point them out. Sometimes I do point them out, but I won't always, and so whenever people are like, I caught that reference, I get very, very happy. Anyways, if you don't want to make a commitment to like a series, I do recommend, they do have a lot of one-off videos, so like video games that they only play for 1 episode, or I would recommend to watch Guest Grumps. So they have, they will occasionally bring a guest onto their show. So my favorite guest, Ben Schwartz is probably my favorite guest that they've had. I think he's so funny. The one where they play that one video game, it's like, was it an N64? No, it was not N64. It was a video game about like Disney World, I think. I guess it was like supposed to replicate Disney World. I don't know. But yeah, that series, that episode is so funny. Ben Schwartz is amazing. Any of the Guest Grumps episodes with Jacob Anderson is great. Jamie Lee Curtis was in a Guest Grumps this last year, I think. And she was so funny. So, Finn Wolfhard is good. Is there anyone else? I mean, they had a lot of Guest Grumps, but those are like my favorite that I rewatch all the time. I just rewatched all of those recently because I love it so much. But yeah, so if you just want to give them like a quick shot, those videos, the Guest Grumps, are a lot longer, but they are very great. Anyways, sorry, I talked about Guest Grumps. I talked about Game Grumps for too long. I mean, I'm wearing their merchandise everywhere. I should have worn their socks. I forgot I had their socks. But anyways, moving on. Another gaming channel I watch is Markiplier, but I don't watch all of his videos just because I'm so picky with like the gaming videos that I watch. Because if it's nothing like Nintendo related or anything, I'm not that interested. I do like Among Us right now. Like, I love that game. I think it's so fun. I've played it like once. I just like watching other people play it. So like, I'll watch Markiplier's Among Us and like other gamers Among Us videos. But it's mostly like Amnesia. So Amnesia was a game that I was super into, which became huge on YouTube back in like, what, 2012 or something. So a lot of the gamers that I'm subscribed to were from that era. And so Markiplier, I discovered him through Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and I think I stayed subscribed to him, I think. And so if he replays any like Amnesia games, like the new one, I'll watch that. I don't watch a lot of his videos, but he's really funny. He's a great guy. He's grown so much, so very proud of him. I don't, even though I like video games a lot, I'm not actually subscribed to a lot of gaming channels. You know what else I'm not subscribed to a lot? This is gonna sound, I feel like this is gonna be kind of taboo, but I'm not subscribed to a lot of artists either. Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of art videos. I know, like, I don't know if I'm actually part of, I wouldn't consider myself a part of the art community. I'm not like a huge YouTuber or anything like that. I'm not a huge art YouTuber. But yeah, I don't watch speed paints very often. Sometimes I do, especially for inspiration. But a lot of the speed painters that I was subscribed to actually don't post anything anymore. Last night I actually went through all of my all the people I'm subscribed to like kind of like just like doing a cleanup, and I'm subscribing to a bunch of people, and all of the artists that I liked like didn't post for like years, so that's kind of a bummer. Not sure if I would have watched them anyways, because honestly, YouTube is, for me, I watch YouTube videos. I don't really watch videos very often. I mostly just listen to them while I'm working on stuff. So if it's something that I can't really listen to or watch while multitasking, I won't do it. So speed paints, most of the speed paints are not voiceover. So if they're not talking, I'm not gonna watch it, you know? So that's why I don't watch a lot of like speed painters or arts and crafts people, because they're mostly just talking about their art, which is great, but it's just not my thing, I guess. So if it's like a speed painter who does voiceovers and talks about certain topics and stuff, I will gladly watch them. If you have any recommendations, by the way, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to get some recommendations, especially with art YouTubers. Like, I really want to get more, like, I want to be more familiar with the community, and I just feel like I'm not, and I feel really bad. I feel really guilty about it. Like, I'm kind of like a hypocrite, you know, where I'm like, you guys have to watch all of my videos, like all my speed paints and stuff, but then I don't watch any speed paints. So, like, I don't know, I just don't want to be, I don't know, I just feel bad. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like, why are you making content that you wouldn't watch yourself? Like, I don't know, this is just what I like to do, even though it's not really what I like to watch. Isn't that weird? I don't know. But anyways, what else? So yeah, I'm not subscribed to a lot of art channels, but I do like to watch Storytime animators a lot. So I'm subscribed to like a lot of the bigger names, I guess. So like Jaden Animations, Domix, I love Domix, the odd ones out, yeah. Who I love, Ice Cream Sandwich, that's his name, right? Ice Cream Sandwich, I think. He is so funny. He honestly, he has made me laugh more than any other like Storytime animator. He is, like, no shade to any of them, by the way, like, they're all really funny and great storytellers, but Ice Cream Sandwich is like a whole different level in my opinion. I really love comedy, so I'll mostly watch like funny things for the most part, not all of it. I think Among Us is really great for comedy, and that's probably why I'm so obsessed with those videos as well. But yeah, so a lot of that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Storytime animators. I'd love to be a Storytime animator, but I don't animate. I mean, most of them don't really animate, to be honest. No shade to them, by the way. I'm not trying to be like, you guys aren't actually animators, because you, like, animation is so much work and so time consuming, and if you want to have any kind of like consistent schedule that, you know, if you want to post a video like every so often, animation is just such a tough one to get to like actually do that with. So like, no shade, you gotta do what you gotta do for, you know, to feed yourself and, you know, pay rent, so I totally get it. But yeah, I actually like filmed one, kind of, and I was working on it, and now I'm doing this. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Storytime animators, and yeah, I watch YouTube also for education as well. So like, anytime I need to learn how to do anything, I've always been the type of person to learn the best by watching, instead of like, I don't like just reading instructions. It just doesn't work out for me. So I will always look up videos on YouTube for that, and also like education wise, like Eons is probably one of my favorite. I love Eons, like that video that they posted a few weeks ago about like why everything is a crab. like there's so many different types of crabs, but like a lot of crabs aren't actually crabs. That's a fun video. I love them. What else? Just like a lot of animal stuff I like to watch. What other educational videos? Oh my gosh, what are my educational? Like, I'm subscribed to like SciShow and stuff like that, but I don't watch everything that they post just because it's not a lot of topics that I'm super into. I watched Dr. Mike, and I started watching him in the beginning of this year before everything went down. So it's very interesting to have like gotten to see his stuff before all of this and then after, and being like, well, I'm glad I found him. Like, I'm glad I had this guy like since the beginning. Philip DeFranco, I'm subscribed to him as well, just because I do want to keep up with like all of the current news and stuff like that. But yeah, so subscribe to those people for like educational stuff. But yeah, educational is not like my super favorite. I have this past like 2 years, mostly this year, but I've started watching like commentary channels, I guess. So like Cody Co I started watching last year, I think, and then this year I started watching like Drew Gooden? I think that's his name. Who else do I watch? Curtis Connor and Danny Gonzalez. Yeah, so there's like 4 of them. I will say it was a little hard because I did watch the other 3. I discovered them this year, and it was a little hard to watch Danny Gonzalez in the beginning just because of what his fan base is called. If any of you guys get where I'm going with this. But yeah, so every time he would like say hi to his fan base, I'd be like, please don't say that name. But like now I'm just like, it's all good, like I've gotten over it, so don't even worry about it, okay guys. But yeah, it was just really funny in the beginning. And so drama channels, so here's the thing with drama channels. I wish I could be the type of person who's like, I don't like drama, and then I don't watch drama. But I'm the type of person who's like, I don't like drama, but I like watching the drama, you know? Like, as long as I'm not a part of it, I'm fine with it. But like, I'm not fine with it. It just depends on what it's about. A lot of drama is so dumb. Like, so dumb. But some of it is like, okay, why is it that drama is either too dumb, or it shouldn't be considered drama, and it should instead be considered like criminal, like there's so much drama and it's titled as drama, but it's like this person should be in jail. Like that should not be considered drama. That should just be like, that's like an allegation, like that's like an actual, like take them to court, take them, put them in jail kind of thing. Like I feel like drama is just not the right word for it, you know? It's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But anyways, so yeah, anyways, I do watch some drama channels, but like it depends. There's so many drama channels out there that are very not energetic, but just like, you know, they love what they do, and that's great. Or they're doing it, you know what, I'm not gonna say that energetic channels love what they do, because I'm sure some of them do, but sometimes you can just, you know, sometimes they're just in it for the money, because drama will get you, like, it will get you places, you know. I like watching drama channels, or like commentary channels, I guess some of them are, where they're like, you know, they have like, they're relaxed, or not like screaming in your face. Am I screaming in your face right now, by the way? Am I screaming? Sorry. Oh god, what's his, like D'Angelo, right? That's his name? D'Angelo Wallace? Oh, is that his name? I didn't write down his name, but he's a really great one. Like, good for him. He's grown so much this year alone. He's my favorite. iNabber also as well. I think those are the main 2 that I watch. I don't watch a lot of drama things just because, like, I don't like super negative stuff in my face a lot. So when there's like drama channels that are like, I don't know, like I can't do an example, but they're just like this a-hole, blah, blah, I don't know, like I can't do an example, I really can't. But just like, just so much negativity out there. I don't watch a lot of negative people. I just don't. And nothing wrong with, like, if that's what your brand is and stuff, and that's your audience, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not going to judge you for it at all. Like, everybody has their own personalities and their own taste in content. But I just don't like that kind of stuff for myself personally. I just like more positive things. More like, I feel like so weird saying that, because I feel like people will be like, oh, like, it sounds like sunshines and butterfly type of things, and I'm not that type of positive. I'm not like trying to be fake positive, and I have been fake positive before in the past, so I know when I'm being fake positive. But I just want to watch people who are lighthearted and who will make me laugh and just improve my day, and not necessarily make me mad for the rest of the day, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to watch anything that will bring my mood down. And obviously that depends on what the content is. Like, I do still keep up with, like, real world stuff, even though a lot of real world stuff is not that great, not that positive. But if it's, like, unnecessary stuff that I just don't need to know, you know, like if it's just like a random TikTok person is being a jerk, I don't care for that. Like I don't need that, you know, like that's not important to me at all. Unless they're like doing something like illegal, you know, like then I'm like, okay, that's kind of like messed up, so maybe don't do that. But I'll be educated on that type of stuff. But yeah, I don't know what I'm even talking about, drama and stuff like that. But yeah, lots of drama stuff. Oh gosh, drama is such a big thing nowadays. Before I end the video, I'm gonna go back to the past a little bit because I'm so surprised. I completely just forgot to talk about YouTube in the past. Like, okay, another trend before, like when YouTubers became a thing, like right when YouTubers became a thing and YouTube was popping off. Does anybody remember how popular prank channels were, or prank videos? Do you guys remember? Like, there's so many, like they would get in the news, like on TV from their pranks. And the thing with prank channels, like okay, so back then they were super in, right? And I did watch a few of them, not a lot of them, honestly. My favorite, like, you just gotta be so careful, you know? So like I did like pranks where like you would scare people, and it depends on the type of scare, right? Like I remember these pranks where like people would tie a fake snake to themselves and like pretend to run away from the snake and get other people to run away with them. Like those, I thought those were funny or something. But like you gotta be so careful with pranks. Like you gotta be careful with who you prank. What if, you know, like what if you prank somebody and they faint, or they you know, like they pass out, or they have a heart attack or something? Like that's so scary. And you know, like pranks are not big nowadays because of a lot of these reasons as well. Like there was also a time where pranks became like racist. Like I don't know, like why you would need it's just like so, like, oh my god, it's just so. And I hate pranks that were like really, really mean-spirited. So like scaring pranks could be mean-spirited. So I will say that was kind of like, you know, like maybe some problematic stuff I watched with like the scaring stuff. But they weren't like problematic. Like I've seen, you know, like the really weird pranks like nowadays where it's like I pretend to kidnap their sister or something, or like pretend I'm cheating on my girlfriend, or like yeah, like cheating pranks, or like kidnapping pranks, or like murder pranks. Like those are not, first of all, like most of those are scripted anyways, but like that's not, I'm not into that at all. Like why are people doing pranks? But like the pranks are like criminal things, you know, like illegal stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just like all for shock value, so I get it, but like I don't like that. And then yeah, pranks became like scripted and stuff as well. So a lot of like the reactions were fake, and that was lame. I remember like the prank channels I would watch were like, I don't remember this guy's name. I met him too. I'm pretty sure I met this guy. He did these pranks. So this is gonna sound so immature, I know. Listen, this guy would have a fart noise machine that he would hold in his hand, okay? And his pranks were that he was out in public and he would press the machine and it would make a fart noise, and like the people in public would be like, was that a fart? Like who farted just now? And that was a whole prank. Now here's the thing, before anyone is like, Leslie, fart pranks or fart jokes are so immature, I just want to let you know that I have never once stated that I'm a mature person. You know what? And it depends. It's not like you can't just throw a fart anywhere and expect me to laugh at it. Like it's gotta be a tasteful fart, you know? It's gotta be a tastefully placed fart noise. That's what I meant to say. But like, you know, why am I talking about fart jokes? But you know, like I feel like for the most part, like that kind of joke, that kind of prank, it's like pretty harmless for the most part. There are some like fart joke, but I don't know why I'm talking about fart jokes, but there are some of them that are not very like you know, they're not respectful at all. Like when it was like pretending to like accidentally fart on somebody, or no, not even accidentally. Sometimes they would make it so that it looked like they purposefully farted on somebody, that's not what I'm into, because I'm like, okay, that's like disrespectful. Like if a stranger like purposefully, I can't say that word, farted on me in public, I would not be like, haha, so funny. I'd be like, what is wrong with you? So obviously that's not cool. But you know, if somebody in public like farted and it was obviously an accident and they were embarrassed, then that's funny. Like in my opinion. I know not a lot of people find that stuff funny, or they say they don't and they do, or a lot of people want to be mature and say it's not funny. Like I know it's not a mature topic, okay, I get it, I'm not a mature person, but I just wanted to put that out there, okay? That was something that I was super into back then, and I met the guy who was like, who made that really popular. Did he sell his own fart machines? Was he like a salesman and that was like his pitch? Like, is that how he made his advertisements? I don't know. What was his name? I don't remember. And then I think his son got into like the whole like prank business, but that's when pranks got like really uncool, and like not uncool, but like they were like uncool in the sense that they were like bad, like they were like disrespectful and racist, some of them, and like, ooh, so bad. And like borderline like not abusive, well, some of them abusive, but like when it's a prank and you're like touching people, that's pretty uncool. Like, don't touch people, guys. Like, especially like, whew. Anyways, I don't want to get into that, because the prank channels just, some of them took it way too far and just ruined it for the rest of them. And like, if it's a prank but you're doing something illegal, then it's not a prank, you're just doing something illegal. You're just committing a crime at that point. I don't know. I just wanted to like vent about prank channels. Nowadays, I know they're like not in style anymore, which is fine, because like that was so of its time for sure. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about pranks. Is that cool? Is that cool with you guys? I literally just did the line art and I colored a little bit. Look at this little guy I have over here. I'm just showing you him because he did such a good job in the last episode. Huh, Bubbish? This is what I worked on. I'll show it on this, I'll show it here, I guess. So if you were working on anything and you want to post it publicly, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can post it with the hashtag OWLSNEST YT capitalized if you would. You know, it's kind of YouTube, OWLSNEST YouTube. And do you guys want to meet my little puppy wuppies? You guys want to meet? Who's my little puppy, huh? You were such a good boy. Yeah, in the beginning you were kind of bad, huh? You were kind of a bad boy, but then you became a good boy. Come here. Join the video, Bubbish. Oh, look at the baby. Look at the baby. He just got a haircut, huh? Bubby, look over there. Say hi, puppies. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please, hey, if this topic wasn't, like, you know, that interesting to you, I totally get it, because I just talked about YouTube and stuff. But like, don't worry, I will be posting more videos about like people, you know, like, give me suggestions. I want to do like relationship advice. I want to post more videos on my ex, because that guy made me cry so much. I might as well make a penny off of him. So I will be like, my next Owl's Nest will be more on my last relationship. Woohoo, that'll be fun. And like I said, I will be talking about when I actually caught him cheating, but that's gonna be on the 1-year anniversary of me catching him cheating. So if you want to figure that out, I have stated multiple times when I caught him, so post that in the comments if you figure it out. But yeah, that is it. Bubbies, you want to say bye? You okay? Anyways, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, if you did all the way through. Oh my god, what a boring subject. Okay, please like, comment, and subscribe. Seriously, subscribe. I promise not all of them will be this boring. Thank you so much for watching. Please be good owlets, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Say bye, puppies. His name is Bo. Say bye, bye, Bobby. Bye, bye. He's not happy with it. I love you so much. Should I just wait for the camera to cut off on its own, Bubbles? Do you want a cookie or something? Is that a yes?